Alright, so whether you're aware or not, your brain is telling you a story about your own life, which means it can easily work against you, sabotaging your plans or pulling you away from what you truly desire. Hey friends, it's Leonard here, and in today's episode, we will talk about ways in which our brain may be working against us and the top 3 secrets for overcoming the self-doubt that keeps us from taking action. Nothing beats coffee. To defeat our enemies, we must first know them. That means we need to understand how our brain works. Our brain can be split into 2 parts. The first part is often referred to as the feeling brain. Dr. Daniel Amen describes it as a spoiled, demanding inner child that always wants what they want whenever they want it. This portion of the brain is always looking for enjoyment while avoiding the pain. The feeling brain desires to do that thing right now. It disregards what we stand for, like our values, our principles, our goals. This area of the brain, though, is essential to our survival and ability to bond with others. But often, it goes against our values and objectives. The second part of the brain is called the thinking brain. It is also known as the executive or the adult brain. This is the part of a brain that says, wait a minute, don't do it just yet. If we wait, there will be something better. These 2 parts require a balance, which is referred to as the seesaw effect between the brains, determining who's in charge and making the decision. Because if not, that is the point when our brain sort of hijack our thinking to sabotage us and take control. Now, there's a few different things that I like to keep in mind that help me kind of take action in winning the mental struggle in my head. Starting with secret number 1. Resistance is the negative energy in our brains that actively works against us in order to prevent us from doing what we want to do. It does not prevent us from watching Netflix or playing video games. Instead, it prevents us from doing whatever we know in our heart is gonna level up our lives. Resistance with a small r, though, comes when we truly believe that we cannot be bothered to clean the desk or wash the dishes. But resistance with a capital R is the force or resistance that prevents us from being creative or from taking risks or from putting ourselves out there. And if we try to do any of this, we're always up against the hill of a constant battle in our minds. Fear is what fuels and activates resistance. The more that we give into that fear, the more powerful it becomes. Now, if you want to know how to cure that fear, you can watch this video. Steven Pressfield said in his book, The War of Art, that fear is actually a very good thing because when we feel scared about doing something, it usually means that we just have to do that thing. For example, most of us wouldn't feel any resistance to sit down and watch our favorite Netflix series and binge watch those. But we feel resistance every time we need to sit down in front of our laptops to do the work or assignments that we need to actually do. Remember a rule of thumb: the more scared we are of a work or calling, the more sure we can be that we have to do it. And that tells us that sitting down to accomplish our work or school requirements is currently the most important thing that we need to be working on. Have you ever tried to trick someone to your advantage? No, don't do that to others, it's bad, but you can do that to your brain. I want to introduce you to something that is more practical and less theoretical as a way to trick your brain. And this is what we call the habit bunching. This is when you try to combine an existing habit that you're already accustomed to the one that you're trying to work on. So for instance, I'm a sucker for a good cup of coffee. I drink 1 cup in the morning and then another one after lunch every single day because I enjoy the taste of coffee and it's something that sort of improves my mood and fuels my day for all the things that I need to do. That is why I look forward to it every single day. Am I addicted to coffee? Well, sort of maybe, but I can use this filthy habit to help me work on another habit. For example, if I need to finish a work requirement in the morning, then I make my coffee, and I can only drink my coffee so long as I'm doing the tasks that will help me complete the work at hand. And the strange part is I will ultimately become used to doing my work commitments in the morning whether or not I have a coffee, because sitting in my office chair and in front of my laptop every morning has now become more natural for me. Habit bunching also works really well when you're trying to develop a reading habit. For example, if you have a habit of drinking milk tea every day, you should leverage that. Allow yourself to sip milk tea only when reading a book. And once you start using habit bunching to develop positive associations with the habit that you're trying to work on, then you can win over your brain by having the power to trick it. I want to touch base first with the principle of the law of attraction. And I'm guessing that you've probably heard of this a million times by now. This states that whatever we put out energetically will return back to us. So if you think positively, you will get positive results. The same goes if you think negatively. This is comparable to what I'm about to share with you. There's this quote that I've encountered recently that says, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." It is so true, because if your mind is conditioned to only think within its limits, then you will really fail to visualize the vast options that you have out there. This mindset is called the scarcity mindset, which leads to the win-lose mentality. It's when you feel the need to rush to reach your goal out of a concern that others may reach it faster than you can. Or perhaps you are unhappy with your current job but cannot see a way out because you think there is no better job opportunities out there. Or you're getting paid less than your worth, but you're putting off asking for a raise because you believe only a select few are qualified for that perks, and you're clearly not one of them. This way of thinking creates an impression that resources, experiences, and opportunities are scarce. In the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. describes the scarcity mindset to the belief that life is a limited pie with limited money and success, and if someone takes a huge piece of that pie, it leaves less for you. What this means is that the ability to envision big is the first step that will allow you to break free from your own bubble of self-limiting beliefs. In my case, as a CEO of a startup creative firm, my vision is to lead my company to compete on a global scale. I don't just see myself helping brands within the local market, but being able to go out there and help more businesses all over the world. To get there, I take small steps along the way, reviewing my strategies, reevaluating my options, revisiting my decisions depending on which circumstances I'm currently in. What I'm doing now is I hired an international business coach that will allow me to have broader perspectives that can help me make better decisions as CEO of the company, and that can empower me to really bring the company up in a global scale. Thinking big sets the direction and can take you far and wide, I think even to places that you can't even imagine, because it will give you more options, more choices, and even more resources to your surprise that will allow you to achieve that grand vision that you have for yourself. But let me remind you that goals are perfect for direction setting, but you should also take it day by day and don't lose sight of the struggles that you need to overcome for you to be able to get to that desired future state that you wish. So after winning against your brain, you need to continually challenge yourself to do the hard things and love the process of doing it, because stagnation breeds destruction. If you just sit on your winnings or planning, everything will fall apart. So you have to constantly be moving forward. Hopefully you found this video somewhat helpful. No more inner conflict, no more self-sabotage, and start to navigate your way towards your desired destination with greater ease and greater hope. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one, and always dare to dream big. Bye-bye. Like, there's a need for you to rush, cut,